Numbers 23, let's just recount Numbers 22. This was where Balak went to hire Balaam, and he wanted Balaam to curse the Israelites. He sent some officials. Balaam went and talked to the Lord, and the Lord said, don't go with them, and he obeyed at that point. The officials came back and said, hey, he's not going to come with us. And so he sent higher officials, more money probably, if I remember right. I'm not certain on that. But, he sent something more enticing. And Balaam said, hey, I already gave you my answer, but let me check with the Lord again. And the Lord said, well, go, but only say what I tell you to say. And then the Lord allowed an angel, the angel of the Lord, it says, to intervene in his path. The donkey saw the angel, Balaam didn't, and the donkey 3 times attempted to evade the angel, at which point Balaam starts beating the donkey, and the donkey starts talking to him, and then he talks back, and then he sees the angel, and the angel says, look, go, but you have to say what I'm going to say. He gets there, and Balak says, why didn't you come? Hey, I'm offering you all sorts of goodies and stuff, and he says, hey, here I am. I can only say what the Lord tells me to say. And so the last verse before we get into chapter 23, because chapter 23 begins with the word then. I hate starting with the word then, especially when we've been away from it for a few days. The last little bit of chapter 22 says, in the morning, Balak took Balaam and brought him to Bamoth Baal. From there he saw the outskirts of the people's camp. Numbers 23. Then Balaam said to Balak, build me 7 altars here and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me. So Balak did as Balaam directed, and they offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Balaam said to Balak, stay here by your burnt offering while I am gone. Maybe the Lord will meet with me. I will tell you whatever he reveals to me. So he went to a barren hill. God met with him, and Balaam said to him, I have arranged 7 altars and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Then the Lord put a message in Balaam's mouth and said, return to Balak and say what I tell you. So he returned to Balak, who was standing there by his burnt offering with all the officials of Moab. Balaam proclaimed his poem. Balak brought me from Aram, the king of Moab from the eastern mountains. Come, put a curse on Jacob for me. Come, denounce Israel. How can I curse someone God has not cursed? How can I denounce someone the Lord has not denounced? I see them from the top of rocky cliffs, and I watch them from the hills. There is a people living alone. It does not consider itself among the nations. Who has counted the dust of Jacob, or numbered even 1/4 of Israel? Let me die the death of the upright. Let the end of my life be like theirs. What have you done to me? Balak asked Balaam. I brought you to curse my enemies, but look, you have only blessed them. He answered, shouldn't I say exactly what the Lord puts in my mouth? Then Balak said to him, please come with me to another place where you can see them. You will only see the outskirts of their camp. You won't see all of them. From there, put a curse on them for me. So Balak took him to Lookout Field on top of Pisgah, built 7 altars, and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Balaam said to Balak, stay here by your burnt offering while I seek the Lord over there. The Lord met with Balaam and put a message in his mouth. Then he said, return to Balak and say what I tell you. So he returned to Balak, who was standing there by his burnt offering with the officials of Moab. Balak asked him, what did the Lord say? Balaam proclaimed this poem. Balak, get up and listen. Son of Zippor, pay attention to what I say. God is not a man that he might lie, or a son of man that he might change his mind. Does he speak and not act, or promise and not fulfill? I have indeed received a command to bless. Since he is blessed, I cannot change it. He considers no disaster for Jacob. He sees no trouble for Israel. The Lord, their God, is with them, and there is rejoicing over the king among them. God brought them out of Egypt. He is like the horns of a wild ox for them. There is no magic curse against Jacob and no divination against Israel. It will now be said about Jacob and Israel, What great things God has done! A people rise up like a lioness. They rouse themselves like a lion. They will not lie down until they devour the prey and drink the blood of the slain. Then Balak told Balaam, don't curse them and don't bless them. But Balaam answered, didn't I tell you, whatever the Lord says, I must do? Again Balak said to Balaam, please come. I will take you to another place. Maybe it will be agreeable to God that you can put a curse on them for me there. So Balak took Balaam to the top of Peor, which overlooks the wasteland. Balaam told Balak, build me 7 altars here and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me. So Balak did as Balaam said and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. And so ends chapter 23. So we'll have to come back tomorrow and see how that finishes. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you another time.